That is your fault. Because you had more faith and belief in the people that doubted you instead of believing in yourself.
And guess what? I'm gonna get all of it. It's not a gimmick. Vision boards are very real. You have to understand that. You have to understand all successful people have them. You can't.
That you're desperate for it. Let me give you an example. I can tell you that I think the times that you've achieved at the highest levels in your life, you might have been the most desperate.
You're not supposed to start at the top. You got to grow it. You got to believe in it. I never told you that it was going to be easy. In fact, you don't deserve it. If you can't struggle through it, you don't deserve it. If you can't hurt from it, you don't deserve it. Nobody should have that much success in their lives if they didn't put nothing behind it. We don't know the story behind the story. Yes, there are people out there that cheated their way.
You're not gonna get everywhere you want in life without writing your visions down, without having them in front of you. It's a scripture. This is not a theory that Oprah Winfrey came up with. This is a biblical scripture. God set it in place where you could have the life of your dreams. He put it in place. There is a way that you can have the life of your dreams. You just have to learn the principles of success. Now, they got all these books out here, but all these books on self-help and success, they're based on the principles from the Bible. Ain't nobody coming up with no new stuff. Proverbs got all that information in it. All of that information is in Proverbs. You ain't got to look no further. But since Proverbs is hard to understand, people have self-help books like The Magic of Thinking Big, Power of Positive Thinking, The Winner's Circle.
That ain't got nothing to do with you. You need to focus on believing in yourself. Taking pride in yourself. You do what you gotta do. You do what you need to do. And feed your ideas, feed your dreams, because they're starving right now. You can't push yourself forward if all you're thinking about is the doubts and the negative things that people are saying. Because you're relying more on their ideas and their dreams of you instead of you relying on your own dreams and ideas of yourself. Why would you want to surround yourself with people that don't have ideas that are great? Why would you want to surround yourself because of a number? You know, a lot of people tend to wonder, how many friends they have. And
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. All this stuff come out the Bible. The reason I don't know how to make $3 billion, and the reason I ain't got to worry about the how, because the how-to is none of my business. See, the problem that people do is you get in God's way. See, you tell God what you want, then you mess up and tell him how you want him to do it. The problem is you can't tell God how to bless you. All you got to do is write down what you want. God will give you everything you write down. I'm telling you, it used to be a lot of stuff on here I had to take off. You don't see no cars on here because they all in the garage. I'm telling you, everything I have ever put on this board eventually comes true because the scripture says this: write the vision and make it plain.
how many people in that corner? I have 1 million followers. I have tens and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that support me. How many of those people do you actually know? Do you realize the power that you have right now? Even the people that don't like you, they are drawn to you. They see you, but they don't see your greatness. They don't see what you truly have inside. They are afraid of it. They don't lift it up. They don't encourage it because they're not happy. Today, recognize your true beliefs. Stop thinking that the rest of the world is against you. You have a few people that may not ever support you, but you got just one, that one person that matters the most, and that is you, my friend, you.
Let me give you an example. If you were sitting here and you're in a meeting right now, and someone tapped you on the shoulder, God forbid this ever happened, they said, your child's been in an accident, and they've been rushed to the hospital, and it's grave. Instantly, you'd be desperate to get to your child, wouldn't you? Those of you that don't have children, if it was your parents, you'd be instantly desperate to get to them. And think about what happens when that desperation kicks in. All of the things we worry about, all of our fears, all of our concerns, all of the lack of resources we have immediately fade away because we must get to this child of ours, this loved one of ours. So if you were in the middle of a conference and they said, here's another, your child has been in a serious accident, it's grave, you need to get to them. Would you sit there and think for a minute, well, I don't want to get up right now in the middle of their speech because what will everybody think about me? I mean,
now here's something I want you to do. Think about some goal you want to achieve, and I don't want you to worry about how you're going to do it. That's not important. Just shut up. Get that. How is none of your business. Because of our mental conditioning, ladies and gentlemen, we unconsciously build a case on why we can't do something. When I wanted to go in the area of motivation, I started building a case for myself. Les, you can't do that. You've never worked for a major corporation. You can't do that. You don't have any college training. You can't do that. You don't have the money. You don't have the contacts. You've never done that before. What makes you think that you can make more money in 1 hour than most people make working for 2 or 3 months? How many of you have ever wanted to do something? And just answer honestly. How many of you have ever wanted to do something and you talk you out of it? Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. All right? So you know that inner conversation. That's what I'm going to override tonight. All right? Now, by the way, when I get started, I get fired up. So don't pay me any attention. Let me take my coat off. I don't have much time, so I want to burn this up. Hold this for me. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. All I want you to do is hold the vision of what you want.
I don't want to make waves here. That would go away, wouldn't you? Get right the hell up and run out of the room. If when you got to the back of the room, there was a security guard that said, hold on a minute, stop. Nobody leaves this room. A very important person's up there speaking right now. Would you go, you're right, sorry, I don't want to violate protocol. I don't want to color outside the lines here. You're right. I'll go back to my seat. Would you do that? Of course not, because you're desperate. Whatever is required of you to get to this child, this loved one of yours, you would do. And when you went out to the parking lot and you got into your car and you realized, my gosh, I forgot my keys. I left them in the room. Would you go, well, it's just a sign. I mean, maybe I just don't have what it takes to get to my child. That silly, stupid story. You wouldn't do that at all, would you? You'd immediately respond. You'd get back up. You'd run in the room. You'd knock the security guard down. You'd go back. You'd get your keys. You'd run back out. When you turn the car on, it didn't start. The battery was dead. Would you go, yeah, that's just another sign. You know, maybe I'm just not cut out to get to my destination, to get to my child.
I want you to think about that all the time. Hold the vision of what you want. Keep that in your mind's eye. I dreamed about constantly being on Robert Schuler's program. I thought about it all the time. See, ladies and gentlemen, our thoughts have power. Your thought is what you brought. So people don't realize that. See, we can't control the thoughts that come in our minds, but we can control the thoughts that we dwell on. So your thoughts have magnetism, and the most challenging thing is to discipline your thinking, to hold the vision of what it is that you want. That's the most difficult part. I saw myself on Robert Schuler's program. I saw myself being interviewed by Robert Schuler. I saw myself prepared to answer whatever question he asked. I was ready for him. I'd been there 1,000 times in my mind. At the end of the program, he said, it feels like I've known you before, like we've been together before. I said, we have been spiritually and mentally. I've been following you for a long time. I thought about it. See, this is no game to me. It's no memorized speech to me. I live this. I believe you don't teach what you don't know, and you don't lead where you don't go.